Hi, and welcome back to the channel. This is Dave here with Beginner for B Series. Today we're doing a little something different. It's about close to the end of October. Yesterday here in New Hampshire we were in the mid-70s, but a drastic change. We've dropped probably 30 degrees, so we're in the mid-40s now. The leaves are coming down, probably got 50% left. I'm going to wait till pretty much all the leaves are down, and then we'll be breaking out the cyclone rake and putting it on the Cub Cadet. So that will be coming up soon, I would imagine. But in the meantime, we're down here in the basement, and I've got a golf trip coming up. For those of you who didn't know, I used to be a club golf professional. Got out of that about 3-4 years ago. Just kind of got into management and financing and working for a company where I handle all the books and payroll and different things. So anyhow, so I'm going back to my roots today. We've got this golf trip coming up. I'm going to be heading down to Florida, and my clubs have not been regripped for probably 3-4 years. And that's a long time. However, I've only been playing a couple times each year, so haven't really had the need to, but the rubber on the grips do eventually start to break down just out of age. They get a little bit harder. They lose a little bit of the actual feel on the grip. So we're going to be putting this on today, so if that's something that interests you, stick around. You're going to need, and I got this kit actually off of Amazon. Came with the grip solution, which is a Brampton grip solvent, 15 tape strips, so these are 2-inch double-sided tape. Nice that they're all cut out for you, but you can just go to your local hardware store and get some 2-inch double-sided tape and then just use scissors to cut what you need. It's got a hook knife. Very important. I highly recommend the hook knives, the blades, because you'll see in a moment, but it makes it a lot easier to strip the old grip and tape off with that. And it also comes with a little vise clamp to go into your vise here. That'll hold the club. So nice little kit. I want to say this one's considered their premium kit. I think I paid somewhere between 15 and 20 bucks for this. And you get plenty to do a whole set. You can only carry 14 clubs in your bag anyway. They give you 15, which is nice in case you happen to screw something up. So let's grab our club here and our grip. This is the MCC Align by Golf Pride. It's a multi-compound new decade. So what that means is I don't wear a golf glove, so I need something that I can get some good feel for, but also some good grip. So this is a corded grip on the top, and then just your rubber grip on the bottom. So nice grip. Also got this on Amazon. So grab our club here, and first things first, we're going to put this into the vise and strip off the grip. Okay, not real important to have this completely lined up, but kind of helps get yourself used to trying to set the club up so it's nice and square. So we're going to take our hook blade here, come down to the end. You're just going to lift underneath this a little bit. Then I hold this up at an angle because I want this rounded part here to be making the contact with the steel shaft. I don't want to be the real sharp point digging down through. And the reason for that is going to be for ease of taking off the old tape. Okay, so we'll just run that down through. Okay, and we'll just peel the old grip back and off. Okay, so here we go. You can see here I did not mar or cut through this tape. Okay, we're going to take that out. And again, the reason for that is I didn't want to scar this up. One of the most time-consuming parts of regripping clubs is removing the old tape, and you want to make sure you strip it and get it all the way down and off. They do make a tool that you can actually scrape all this off. I don't like using those, especially on like a graphite shaft. You don't want to scrape all the graphite. Graphite's in fibers, so you don't want to break those fibers. You don't want to cut through the fibers. Steel shaft you can get away with. However, I find that when you do scrape and push and try to get all that stuff off, it leaves some adhesive behind because you're basically scraping and spreading the adhesive. So this way, with that little trick, we can just kind of get this started, and then it's just a matter of twirling and taking off the old tape. Again, if this comes off in pieces, you're constantly having to get it started. It is not fun on your hands to try to rub and strip this stuff off. Now when you get to the top here, you're going to end up breaking through because they usually add a little extra tape at the end. It's where the overlap happens, and that's important. A lot of people that regrip like to leave a little a little bit thicker on the grip, the tape at the end here, because this metal here is sharp, and trying to put a rubber grip over that, you want that to go as smooth as possible, because this is the part that can technically hang you up a little bit when you're trying to put a grip on. So we've kind of got this all stripped off. You want to make sure you get all the tape. I use my little hook blade, get in here and just pull that stuff out. Okay, you don't want any of that to fall down into the shaft. All right, so now, next up here, we're going to put our vise clamp on, and it's got two ridges, which is really nice. It helps to make this sit where you want it to. I give it a little bit of a tightening, and then you've got to make the head square, because especially with these Align grips, they have a little bar in the back that once they're installed onto the shaft, that little bar just sticks out a little bit so that your hands feel that same part of the grip each time. So that's why they call it an Align grip, because you are able to kind of get your hands in the same position every time for consistency. So here we go. If you look down, I'm hoping that this head thing is working out with the camera. If you look down, this little white line on the grip, or excuse me, on the head of the club, you want that to be parallel with something else that's straight. Now, when you do this a long time, you kind of get used to the way that something's supposed to look, and we're not in a high production setup here. This is at my house. I don't do this anymore for a living, but they do make nice regripping stations that would collect solvent that you use so you can reuse it. There's also an alignment bar at the end so that the head is in its perfect position so that it's nice and square. I am going to use the bench here, the straight edge on the bench, and I am going to just kind of try and line up my white bar, which is your grooves here. I'm going to try to make sure that that is parallel with the bench, and the bench is nice and square and straight. So that's pretty good. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tightening. Now you want to be careful, especially on graphite shafts, that you do not crush the shaft. The steel is obviously a lot stronger, but you just want it to be tight enough, and with these rubber vise clamps, they hold pretty good. So you just want to kind of give it a little bit of a tug, because you are going to be putting and sliding that grip down onto this shaft, and you're going to be applying some pressure. So here we go. Next step, we're just going to take our tape, peel that off. You want to leave about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch over the end of the shaft. Like I said, that's important because we need to be able to slide the grip up and over that sharp edge. So I just push down one side, work it around, and make sure that it's nice and flat, that you didn't have any air bubbles. And I remove this tape happens to be sliced down the middle so you can have easy removal. Then we're going to fold this one over. Again, I just sort of work my way from the top there down to the bottom. Okay. And then we'll peel this one off. Okay, we are ready. Well, almost ready. This is your overhang. I usually just try to spin it a little bit, push it in. Basically, we're looking for a nice coating of tape here to get over this sharp edge. Again, a lot of people will add just a little bit more tape so it's easier to go up and over. It's fine the way that it is. Okay, we'll get our grip here. Just remove this little plastic thing. Okay, so when I put this on, I put it on like this. Okay, so I tend to hold this. We're going to cover this little hole up. Tend to hold this with my right hand. We're going to take our solvent. Make sure you shake it if you haven't used it a little bit. And I do about 10 squirts. Okay, and then we're just going to try to coat this around a little bit, okay, into the grip. If you were in the high production, again, and you had lots of solvent, I would put a lot more in here because you're going to collect it and you can use it, reuse it. But with this little spray bottle, I only got so much. I just put enough in there that I can get it coated around. Then we're going to probably do about the same thing, about 10 or so. Just going to get this nice and wet with solvent. Okay, dump out your excess right to the end here. You can see I don't have much. And then just take your time. Don't freak out here. Just start at the bottom and push it up and over. Hold the tip down here and we're just going to push. Okay? And again, take your time. Everybody kind of goes fast with that because they think that they're not going to be able to get the grip on. And you can't dilly-dally. You got to move because if you get this half on, you're not going to get it all the way down and you're not going to be able to take it back and you're going to end up having to probably cut this grip. Okay? And this I think cost me 13 bucks per grip on Amazon. So once you get that on there, you've got a little white bar here, a little red, and you can manipulate this for probably a minute or so, so you don't have to spaz and go super fast. What I do is I like to run my hands down the side, the little V grooves in your palm. Just sort of straightens out, I think. It helps make that grip straight. Now, the important part here is if we look down, see that red bar? That should be nice and straight, and I think I did pretty good job. So the other thing I do is after I've done that, I come over and I find myself a nice straight line somewhere. I match the white groove to that, then I look down and make sure my grip is nice and straight. And just sort of give it like a bullseye look. Close one eye, look straight down, make sure it's nice and straight. We'll do the same here. Okay, that red bar, which is the align bar in the grip, looks pretty good. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that. Okay, once you know that you're good, give it a little push on the ground, make sure it's seated. I give it a tap. Wipe that up. And in the bag we go. And that's how you regrip a golf club. You probably got a couple minutes that you can manipulate that grip again, so don't freak out feeling like you've got to hurry up and you don't have enough time. You got some time. Just take your time, get it on there, try to make it nice and straight, make your adjustments, just be efficient and keep the motion going. And then that club will probably set up where you could actually use it in like 20 minutes to a half an hour. I recommend, a couple hours actually. Let it sit on there, let them set up, and then they'll be ready to go in a couple hours. So if you're going to attempt to do this at home, probably do it after you play a round of golf or where you know you're not going to play for a day or so. And have fun with it. You'll save yourself some money, that's for sure. Okay, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you on the next one, which looks like probably going to be bringing out the cyclone rake to do some yard cleanup. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see you on the next one.